Hi there, football fans, and welcome to Transfermarkt TV International Edition. My name is Trevor Evans.
And I'm Casper Pop, and we're going to bring you the latest news and rumours from the top leagues around the world. First of all, we're going to start this week with the focus section and Inter striker Romelu Lukaku, who set a new record in the Europa League with a goal in the 2-0 win over Leverkusen last night. In the last 9 games of the competition in which the Belgian was on the pitch, the powerful attacker scored. This series has now lasted for 6 years. In his last Europa League game, in which he did not score, he still played for Everton FC back in November 2014.
And now we come to Poland international Robert Lewandowski, who becomes the first Bayern player to score in 7 consecutive Champions League games. Previously, only Ruud van Nistelrooy, Edinson Cavani and Cristiano Ronaldo had achieved this. In the graphic, we can see exactly who Lewandowski has scored against and how many goals. While we're on the topic of Lewandowski, I really want to bring it to the attention what a season he's had. Not only has he scored a phenomenal number of goals, he's also been nominated, or would have been nominated, for the Ballon d'Or. What do you think of that, Casper?
I was like, 53 goals in 44 games.
Something ridiculous.
Yeah, and plus 8 assists. I think it's like he would have been like my top spot. That's what I've.
Who else would have been against him, do you think?
It's like, not much, man. It was just he played a fantastic season so far. I don't know.
I feel for him this year.
Yeah, definitely. So, and now we're coming to other Ballon d'Or candidates. And first of all, we're going to start with Lionel Messi. Scored his 27th goal in his 30th game in the Champions League round of 16. No other player scored more goals in the round of 16 than the Argentinian, as well as scoring most goals in one match. That were like 5 goals against Leverkusen back in 2012. And most goals in one tie. That was the same tie. It was like 6 goals combined in the 2 matches against Leverkusen.
Now over to Cristiano Ronaldo with a record that Messi will not be able to break, as he becomes the 3rd player in Champions League history to have scored against the same opposition whilst representing 3 different clubs. Lyon are the team that Ronaldo loves to play in the Champions League, and he's achieved this whilst playing for Manchester United, Real Madrid and now Juventus. The 2 other players to have achieved this are Ruud van Nistelrooy against Bayern Munich. He did this for PSV Eindhoven, Manchester United and Real Madrid. And lastly, rather surprisingly, we have Hans-Jörg Butt, who is a goalkeeper who managed to do this with penalties against Juventus. He did this whilst playing for HSV, Bayer Leverkusen, and last but not least, Bayern Munich.
Another Bayern Munich player, Thomas Müller, equals Philipp Lahm's records of Champions League appearances by a German, with 112 matches. At 30 years of age, he still has a few more years in this level and is likely to break this record imminently. He reached the final 3 times in his 11 years for Munich and was crowned European champion at Wembley final in 2013. So that was been a match I would love to be at Wembley.
I lived around the corner at the time. I wish I'd got a ticket.
Oh yeah, that would be great. So what can you tell us about the fixed transfers this week?
We have some news regarding managers, and it's a bit of a surprise. We have Andrea Pirlo has been announced as the Juventus manager. After a somewhat disappointing season where Juventus only won the Scudetto for the 9th year in a row, Juve have decided to part ways with Sarri. The news coming immediately after Juventus were knocked out of the Champions League by Lyon and on the back of a cup final loss to Napoli. It was also reported that Sarri and superstar Ronaldo were not on great terms either. Quite possibly the fastest promotion in football history, with Pirlo only having returned to football less than a week ago to manage the old ladies under 23s, he has now been given one of the biggest jobs in world football. No one can question the wisdom, though, as the mercurial midfielder will most certainly work his magic in Turin. Staying in Italy, and Inter have helped revive Alexis Sanchez's fire this season, and he has now officially joined them on a free transfer from Manchester United, according to Sky Sports. The Red Devils waived any transfer fee just to be rid of his huge salary, reported to be one of the highest paid players in the Premier League at one point. The Chilean international's new deal at Inter will run until 2023, when Sanchez will turn 34 years old, and he's already agreed to halve his salary, which is still a cushy €7 million per year. Initially signed as part of a swap deal between Manchester United and Arsenal, things did not quite work out for the one-time world superstar at Old Trafford. However, current manager Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has quoted as saying, "Sanchez is a top professional and we wish him the best." As reported by The Athletic and The Independent, 24-year-old Greece international Konstantinos Tsimikas has joined current Premier League champions Liverpool from Olympiacos for €13 million. Last season saw Tsimikas increase his value from €1.8 million to 8.1, with some steady displays that saw him contribute 5 assists in 20 Super League One games. Upon the signing being announced, he responded, "I'm very happy and I'm very proud to be here." He becomes only the second Greek player in Liverpool's history, following Kyrgiakos, who joined from Ake Athens in 2009. Staying in the Premier League and promising Manchester City youngster Jack Harrison has decided to extend his stay with Leeds United for another year, his third in all, to continue his blossoming progression. Harrison will no doubt get plenty of Premier League football at Elland Road this year, as he featured in every game in their title-winning championship season. It's unknown what the terms are beyond this loan agreement, perhaps more on this next summer. Over to France, and Niko Kovac is settling in at Monaco and has secured his first new signing, with 22-year-old centre-back Axel Disasi arriving from Stade Reims on a contract until 2025. A fee of €13 million rising to €15 million is something of a steal for a player who exploded onto the scene last season. It saw his market value increase from €400,000 all the way up to €13.5 million, an increase of more than 3,300%. Disasi is looking forward to testing himself at a higher level and is quoted as saying, "I can't wait to start training with the team and achieve their goals." Exciting Japanese international teenager Takefusa Kubo has joined Villarreal for another season of first-team football in La Liga. The deal is a loan with a €2 million fee, but no purchase option. Kubo shone at Real Mallorca last season, where he made 35 appearances, scoring 4 goals. Since joining from Tokyo FC in the summer of 2009, his market value has exploded from €2 million to €30 million. And now some news about a player who isn't going somewhere, and that's Jadon Sancho, who will be staying at Borussia Dortmund instead of going to Manchester United, as was previously rumoured. It's been announced by the Borussia Dortmund that Jadon Sancho will not be leaving after Manchester United failed to reach an agreement before the 10th of August. Michael Zorc said, "We are planning with Jadon Sancho. He'll be playing for us next season. The decision is final. I think that answers all of the questions. Last summer, we adjusted his salary to reflect the performances of Jadon. In that context, we have extended his contract to 2023. That seems pretty final, and there's no room for animosity there. He's very certain that Jadon Sancho is not going anywhere. And after a summer of back and forth, will he, won't he, to Manchester United, it seems like he's staying.
Yeah, it looks like maybe it's about like the deal that they tried to make up from United side, like paying 50 million first and then the other half in 3 years or something.
Yeah.
I think that's not. I don't know. It's not. You don't have a taste to it. It's like waiting for 15 million for 3 years.
It could have been good for him going back to Manchester, like having started his career at Manchester City. But I think Germany's been good for him regarding game time and bursting onto the scene. He would not have had that chance at Manchester City, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. I guess so. Yeah. So what you've been talking about Manchester United, and now we're coming to Manchester City. And me as a Manchester City fan, I'm really, really keen and interested what they're going to do in the next weeks and the new signings. First of all, we're going to start with Nathan Ake, coming from Bournemouth in a deal worth 45 million. Now the transfer is complete. 7 of the 12 most expensive centre-backs in the world have moved to Manchester, including Manchester United's record holder Harry Maguire. According to various reports out of England, Manchester City are on the verge of signing Valencia winger Ferran Torres. The Citizens and Valencia have been in talks for some time and seem to have struck a deal that will see Torres join the Premier League side for an initial fee that is less than his market value.
We've seen the ins, now let's take a look at the outs. And one of the faces that might be leaving Manchester City is Bernardo Silva, who's been attracting the attention of Barcelona, with Nelson Semedo coming in the other direction, as reported by Tribuna. From 52 games, Silva contributed 13 goals and 13 assists. Another Silva on his way out is David Silva, who is definitely leaving after a 10-year stay at Manchester City, where he won the hearts and souls of the citizens. He's potentially on his way to Lazio, according to Sky, but there'll be no shortage of options for Silva to keep playing, that is for sure. Meanwhile, he's still an option for Pep for the remaining Champions League fixtures. Eric Garcia, the promising Spanish centre-back, has decided he wants to play in another place, according to Pep Guardiola. Garcia broke into the first team after the season restart and has seen his market value increase by nearly 10 million euros to 16 million euros as a result of this. Manchester City will be disappointed to lose out on a player of Garcia's talent in this manner, especially if a deal cannot be struck this summer, as there is no transfer fee necessary when his contract expires next summer, and Barcelona are in waiting. Now let's take a quick look at how Manchester City lined up against Real Madrid and what differences that could make to their lineup next season. So we've got Foden up top. Yes, a bit of a rare occurrence there with Jesus and Sterling on either side, and a solid midfield pairing there. The defence was pretty solid, however Fernandinho is looking a little bit old and tired these days. With these new insertions, how excited are you going to be for the new season, Casper?
I'm really looking forward to the new defence, because there were some problems the last season. I think that was the main problem they had. So we have Ake, who's been the new player for Garcia, and on the right wing for Mahrez is coming Torres, and I'm really looking forward to the performances of these two players.
And that concludes our Manchester City segment, and I'm sure there'll be plenty of news of incomings and outgoings throughout the course of the next month in preparation for the start of the new season. So, I'm interested to know, Casper, do you have any more rumours for us?
Yeah, I do have them, so we're heading straight over to the rumour mill. Let's see what we got on the menu for you. The time for German national player Antonio Rüdiger at Chelsea FC seems to be running out. The Blues are in the midst of a major upheaval, and the central defender could be among the candidates who will soon have to leave the club. English champions Liverpool are keen to see the 27-year-old after Dejan Robben's departure to Zenit St. Petersburg. Schalke's midfielder Weston McKennie might be playing for Hertha BSC next season. Although there are talks with Monaco, McKennie remains in Germany. Hertha might be able to compete in the financial battle due to the invests of Lars Windhorst for the Berlin-based club. The 2019 Copa America 24-year-old top goal scorer Everton is on the verge of joining Benfica from Porto Alegre-based club Grêmio. Several Brazilian papers reported the deal on Friday. At one point his market value was up to 40 million, though Benfica are going to pay only 20 million for the striker. Blaise Matuidi will join MLS side Inter Miami, pending the successful completion of a medical, Goal can confirm. The Juventus midfielder, who turned 33 in April, has a mutual agreement with Juventus who will allow him to leave for David Beckham's franchise on a free transfer, tearing up his final year of his contract. Arsenal outcast Özil spotted with Istanbul Başakşehir manager after being offered transfer lifeline by Turkish champs. Super League champions offered Özil a transfer in July. The 31-year-old, though, might not be leaving Arsenal cause his contract is still lasting one season and earns him $350,000 a week. He won't get the same offer anywhere else, though he haven't played one single match since the restart of the Premier League this season. So Trevor, what are you thinking about Mesut Özil? I think he's not worth the money that he's getting.
He's not right now because he's not been contributing much on the pitch. He used to be quite the player, but in recent years he really hasn't been delivering. And for €350,000 a week, it's going to require some results. And Arsenal will be glad for him to be leaving, I'm very sure. Yeah. So let's take a look at some statistics, and we're going to be looking at the best goal-scoring providers within the Champions League environment. And we're starting with Thomas Müller in 5th position, who has scored an incredible 21 goals in 53 matches for the 30-year-old. In 4th position, his Bayern Munich counterpart, Lewandowski, has bashed in 22 in 35 games. 3rd position, the Real Madrid legend, Raúl, scored 31 in 54 games, with a ratio of 5.7 per game. Now we're getting into phenomenal territory, and Lionel Messi, the 33-year-old and still active, has scored 47 in 70 games. And top of the ladder, we have Cristiano Ronaldo, 35-year-old, still smashing them in left, right and centre with 67 goals in 81 matches. Now, let's take a quick overlook, Casper, and what do you think of this lineup?
It's a pretty amazing lineup. I really like Thomas Müller and Robert Lewandowski. They're both two of my really favorite players. But for anyone who's wondering where the Englishmen are, the best Englishman is Frank Lampard. The Chelsea coach is on rank 11 with 15 goals in 52 games, which makes him a good competitor.
Absolutely, and a midfielder.
Thanks for watching. This was this week's Transfermarkt TV episode. We hope you enjoyed the show, and
if you've enjoyed the show, please subscribe and keep following our channel. And if you have anything to feedback, it would be lovely to hear from you in the comments below.
Leave some comments.
Until next week.
See you around. Bye bye.